Hi everyone and welcome to the Yarnniffler podcast. This is the third episode. My name is Sam. I'm a university student from Belgium who loves to knit and crochet while I'm not studying and sometimes even during lessons or when reading coursework. First of all, it is a bit weird for me to film today because we probably all know what's going on in the world, but I hope that this could be a distraction for you and that you keep yourself informed and all of that, and this could just be a safe place. So just let's get into it. First off, my first finished object and what I'm wearing is my cardigan. This is called Hearten by Kim Hargreaves. Let me just come a little bit closer. So as you can see, this is the top of my hip, so it comes to there. It is cropped. The sleeves are full length. In the picture I have shown you before, the sleeves are just like bracelet length, but I love my sleeves full length, so I just stretch them out while blocking. This is an all-over cabled cardigan. Let me try to show you the back. So I hope you can see this. This was a very nice project. You really had to think about all your cables, that they cross the right way, bigger ones, smaller ones, and then you had some moss stitch in it. So you had to think as well to make sure the pattern was right. Maybe some things about the pattern. I knitted the XL size, so but for the sleeves I used the numbers of the smallest size, the extra small size, for the cuffs and even like for the ribbing, and you can see that it is still a bit big on me, because how my gauge worked out, it would be bigger than the measurements giving in the pattern, so I just sized down to make sure it would fit. So it has just a bit of positive ease, but I really like it. This is knit in Holstgarn Super Soft Ice. So I try to get closer. So is this like light blue, but it is heathered. You can see like some lighter spots and some darker spots. This will be one of my neutrals to wear with a lot of things. I mostly have black and grey clothes and a lot of blue. So this is like a neutral blue to go with a lot of my clothes. I really like the length of it. I'm happy with it. Then I used a 3.75 needle and a 2.75. I know in the pattern, if you would knit it when like doing the first part of the rib, you need to work on a 2.75 and then on a 3mm needle, but I didn't change. I just kept going in the 3.75. Let me see what I've. Oh, so yes. As you saw on the previous episodes, I knit the back and the front separate, and then the sleeves I knitted in the round because I found it easier to do that because I had a lot of seaming already. So I knitted in the round, and then when I came up to like here for my armhole, you can see this sleeve cap was then knit flat. But once I was there, it went pretty quickly because you needed to decrease to make sure to fit it into the armholes. And then I knitted everything together. I sewed everything together with mattress stitch. I'm not the best of sewers, you could say, but I really like how it come out. Maybe I'll try to show you a close-up. Like here, this is where you can see it mostly on the border, is where I seamed it up, but it's not really that a clear line, so I'm happy about that. Yes, I knitted it in about 4 months, but there were a couple of other projects between it. This is really my project. I needed to concentrate, like when I needed to put my brain off, when everything was a bit too much for me, I could just concentrate on this, and I'm really happy it's done. Then next off, another finished object I have is my crochet shawl. So let me just try to put it into screen. It is, I didn't measure it, it's but bigger than my wingspan, as you can see. So let me give you a close-up. Like this, you can see you have like some plants here, and then it just goes up, so it is knitted from the bottom up. So you decrease at one side while knitting, so it always goes faster and faster. And then you have these braids, so you just have like 2 stitches that you drop down, and then you crochet them up. You pick up the loops with a crochet needle, which is really nice. It's really soft. I use a 6mm needle. This pattern was from Fiber Tales. I'll also try to put everything on the screen. Oh, maybe let me say that as well. In the description box below, you'll find links to everything I'm talking about, and if I can't link it, I'll try to just write a couple of words to let you know where you should be able to find it. I'll try to link all my Ravelry pages, my Instagram as well. If you want to find me, anything like that will be below, so you just click the little arrow or show more, and then you should be able to see all the clickable links to go to the websites and stuff like that. Yes, okay. So it's really big. As I've told before, this is made in Zeeman Julia in like a gray color that I repurposed from a crochet cardigan from my mom that I made for her. It is 20% wool and 80% acrylic, but the 20% wool really gives you the feeling of wool. So these couple of last days with the storms passing through, it was really cold. So it was really nice for me to just like put it on. Let me show you how I do it. So I just bunch it up, and then it's more like a blanket, you could say, like a shawl blanket, and then I wear it like this, so you see a bit of the patterning at the bottom, and then I'll just try to hide away in it. It's really nice, it's really soft, it's really warm, and because it's so big, it gives you a lot of layers to keep you warm, but I don't need it inside, so let me put it away again. So yeah, but I have a couple of shawls now, so I like to switch off what I'm wearing, or with how cold it is, or probably when I know where I have class. In some rooms it's colder than in others, so like try to see about that. Okay, let me talk to you about my whips. First off is a pair of socks in my sock talk bag. This is from the Grocery Girls. So these are just some shorty vanilla socks. At the moment I am on the ribbing, so let me show you the back. You can see the heels, and where this stitch marker is where I was last time when I showed you, and this is what I've done in that week, and this is what I did yesterday. So I finished this heel and then went on to the cuffs. This gray yarn is Socks Mini, but like socks with an X, in color 103. Yes, that's right. And this one is Mayflower. Normally I have the tag in here, so you can see I have still a lot left, but this should be enough for me to make also a longer pair of socks. So I bought a lot of sock yarn like a year and a half ago from Hobby, and now I am using it to make shorty socks, and then with the leftovers I will try to make bigger socks. So this is my 13th pair. Here we go. This is the sock yarn Venus from Mayflower, and you can see there are 4 colors on this, and this is the 3rd one. I only have color 2 to knit left. All the other ones I've made already. So if you would go on my Ravelry page and look at my products, you would see a lot of socks, a lot of mini socks, because this is pair number 13. And then, yes. The pattern I'm using is the toe-up sock recipe from Sockmaticians. I'll make sure to link it as well. So you start at the toe, you cast on, you increase, and then you just knit up. And for the gussets, I used 6 extra stitches to like look if that gives me a bigger gusset, and like just a little bit of a bigger heel flap to make sure they get high enough, because I have a couple of socks that are just that little bit too small, but if I just put them on and then put on my shoes, they just don't budge for the day. If I'm just rocking around my socks, they tend to slip off my heel. So I'm trying to make them a little bit bigger to make sure they fit me. Yes, and then so I used 56 stitches. These are my Chago red lace needles, as you can see, two at a time on a magic loop. This is just my standard for every sock, and then I'll see if it's vanilla or maybe I'll try to use a pattern for it. So I do 12 rows of ribbing, so I'm almost there. So I'll probably finish these today. So let me put these away. I'll put these out because one of my next projects is in here as well. So to show you later. Then the next thing I'm working on, I casted on the sweater for my cousin I talked about last time. So I'm making the House Pride sweater from Meghan Regan of Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, the podcast. So she's a huge fan of Luna Lovegood, so I'm making the Ravenclaw sweater. So this is the chart, and when you see this crown, I will change it up for the Deathly Hallows symbol. So I'm using Full Colonna Arvetta, which is sock yarn. So I think it's, I have the label here. Let me see. It's 20% nylon and 80% wool. I was already I finished already the color and then the first color work part, but on Sunday I went to see her because I wasn't sure if she would like it because the collar was really high up your neck and really tight around it. So she could get it over her head, but I wasn't sure if she would like it. And she was like, yeah, I don't really know. So I just frogged it because I wasn't that far and started it again. I'm knitting size 3 to give her like 10 to 15 centimeters of positive ease. So she can grow into it because she's only 12 right now, to make sure she can wear it for a long time. So first off, I knitted one by one one by one rib and then folded the collar down. So just after 20 rows, I just folded it down and knitted it together. Now I just finished the short row shaping, so to bring up the neck a bit higher to not get cold and to make sure like the front stays down and not rises up. And now I will start on the color work. Let me show you the colors. So the blue you've already seen is Azul. This is color number 250, no, 65. And this is color 200. This is called Azul. And this is color 200, and this is called Sunshine. It's a bit more yellow. I see it's a bit washed out on the screen. Okay, so I'll just, this will be like my next concentrating project after this one, just when I can like watch TV, but it's not that hard for me to watch, or maybe listen to an audio book. My God, sorry, my pronunciation is not that great today. I really like listening to audiobooks when I'm walking or when I'm doing something like this, when I need to watch my knitting. Most of the times I just knit without looking at it, but when I need to watch my knitting, I like to have something that I don't need to watch constantly on the screen and pause and go back. So this will be one of my next projects, and this is just a sock bag made in, this is normally like a toiletry bag, made in Nepal, that I bought at a fair just in my hometown. But I really loved it, and I was supporting women, their startup in Nepal, so that was really nice for me. And then my last whip is in this bag. I do not know the maker, there is no label in it. I got it for Christmas 2 years ago from my grandma, one of the first project bags I really got. And this is a kangaroo I'm making. Let me show you the pattern first. So I'm using this book. This is called Mijn Knuffelshaken in Sokkenwol from Christel Droogdekker. So this is a designer from the Netherlands. So this means like knitting animals from sock wool. And I'm knitting Kangaroo Bella. So I'll try to show you. So this is her. But I will make a male version of it because I'm knitting this for one of my cousins. And he wanted a blue scarf, so that will be, and no bow. So now at the moment I just started the head, and then I would like to make this a little one as well. Let me show you. So yeah, I just started the head. It's all that I did, but it's a start, and I think this goal will go pretty fast. I'm using Stylecraft Special Decay in the color silver. This, and the number of this color is let me see, where did I write it? 1203. So I'll make sure to link it as well. It's a pretty gray color that I had in my stash, and then I'll use parchment. Another color from Stylecraft is like this cream beigey color for like the inside of the pocket of the kangaroo, and then I have this one, trying to escape me. This is like a brown color. You can see how my cake is made, so it's pretty soft. This is also 100% acrylic, like the Stylecraft, and this is from Schachenmeier, a German wool brand, and this is called Micro. And I will hold this double because this is stock weight yarn. So I'm using like a DK to worsted yarn. So normally these animals come out at about 20 centimeters, like say this big, but something like that. I don't know, probably like 30 centimeters will this kangaroo come out, because I'm using a bigger hook. I'm using a 4mm hook and a bigger wool. But I've made already 2 animals in Stylecraft Special Decay from this book, so I know it all works out. And when I went babysitting on Saturday, my cousin asked, "Did you already start my kangaroo?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry." So on Sunday I just casted it on, or like hooked it on maybe, and now this will be one of my easy projects as well. As you can see, my socks are almost already finished. So I have 2 more sock plans for me. So first off will be a Scrappy sock. So this is the rest that is in this bag. You can see this is filled with like, let me show you. So I have these 2 balls. This is the leftovers from my what was it called? My rainbow socks were just this gray color with then only some striping on the top of it, which I showed you in the first episode. And this is how much I had left over of another pair of Shorty socks I made, with only like the toe and the cuff in a contrasting color. So this should be enough to make contrasting heels, toes and cuffs. We will see. Normally I should have enough. And then I'll try to get out all of my yarn. So let's see. So I will start with the pink. This is the Merino nylon from Stranded Dye Works from Jute. I bought this rainbow set for my rainbow dress that I wore. Sorry, there's the second ball is trying to escape. So some of them are in 2 balls and other ones are in cake, so I can knit my socks 2 at a time. I will knit this also toe up with just my standard recipe of 56 stitches from the Sock Magician's toe up recipe. So I'll start with the pink. So this is just called pink. Then I'll have some purple, but you can see these balls are smaller because I already used some of this and they are trying to escape me as well. I already used, so I used it in my rainbow dress and then in my rainbow socks for me and my sister, and now I'll just make some Scrappy socks to use it to make it to the end. I also started a magic knot cake. So what that means is you just use a magic knot to make one long string of like multiple yarns, and then I just took about 2 grams of everything of my needles to make sure to like put it in a memory blanket. I'm not sure what I will start yet. I will show that when I started, but this is one of the projects I already did. Going to my scraps, if they're small enough, taking them completely, or if they're bigger, taking a bit of it to to knot them together in my magic cake. So I have a big cake of all different colors to knit into a blanket later on. Let's see. The next color will be this blue. So this is just called blue. So all the colors are just called their color to make it easy. This is the green, then we have yellow, and then we have orange and red. As you can see, these are really squiggly, like noodle yarn. This is because they were my swatch. I used like 5 grams of each for my swatch, or 6 grams. I think my swatch was 12 grams to make sure to like calculate my gauge and everything for my dress. So I frogged it because it's nice yarn I want to use for my Scrappy rainbow socks, and that will be the end of my rainbow socks. I will have, excuse me, I will have everything made that I could with my scraps, and that's really nice for me. And then another project I want to start is also a sock project. This is also in a bag from the grocery girls. I got this in a kit as well. I think I will be repeating myself just because these are really handy sock bags to just throw in your purse or in my bag to go to school or anywhere. Just take with you. They don't take up a lot of space, and this is their spring logo, I think. So the next sock project I want to start is this one. As you can see, I caked it up already. So this is Lana Grossa in the color 2608. I will make sure to write it down if I haven't started them yet and or made a Ravelry project of them. So you can see there's like different colors of grays and then some orange in it. So it will be another self-striping sock yarn. Let me see what it is just made of, if I can. Like the ball band is ripped and then put back together. So it's 80% wool and 20% nylon. Neon degree, so maybe as probably there should be a part of it that should light up in the dark. I don't know. I will tell you about it if I find out. So this will also be just a vanilla pair of socks because it's self-striping. Toe up 56 stitches. Yes, 56 stitches on magic loop 2.5 needles and then 2.25 for the cuffs. I will start this like maybe at the end of the week. So this is Tuesday when I'm filming this, because on Friday we leave for a weekend with like our faculty. So everybody that's doing bioscience who wants to go can go on a weekend with us. We'll just go have some fun, play some games, drink something, talk a lot. So I'm like, take something simple with me to this when I'm maybe up early or when we're talking with our friends. So this is one of my future projects as well. Like this, let me see. I'm losing some things here in my chair. So I have these needle stoppers that are just in the back to make sure I have them if I would need them. Most of the time I don't, but sometimes I want to be sure, and then I like to have them in my bag. Also, you maybe saw, let me pull it out again. I have this little notebook. I have them in all my sock bags. So and like these are my notes to like indicate for the toe, and then when I increase for the gusset and when I do the heel turn to make sure I have enough stitches. For the rest, I don't keep notes because it's almost always the same, and I know how that works. Okay, then there's one last thing I wanted to talk about in like acquisitions, but I don't really have it yet. I haven't bought anything, so yeah. That's normally how it goes. I have bought a lot of yarn in the last couple of weeks, and now I'll just knit it. I have bought a lot of yarn before as well, so definitely have enough yarn. But I won a giveaway. Maybe you know her, Chevis or Chevy Rel from the Chevy Rel Stuff podcast on YouTube as well. I'll link it below. She has 10,000 subscribers and had done a giveaway. You needed to put in a question, and I won. If you would have watched the video, I'm the last person who got picked. So Dan chose my name out of this big bag of everybody who also entered the giveaway. So I sent her a message to tell her how excited I am. So this is something that will be coming from America. So that will probably take a little bit of a time. So once I get it, I will definitely show it. But I wanted to tell you because I've have gotten a couple of messages from people asking me if it was me that won. Yes, that's correctly. At that moment, my YouTube name was still some Wyffels, like it was like it is on Instagram, but I changed it for the podcast. So I let Chevy Rel know that as well, and she told me she would watch my podcast. So I'm really happy about that as well. Okay, then let's go into my knitting and crochet journey. Last time we left off, now I'm about 16 years old, around that time, so we are in 2018. And I found out Ravelry in that year, like in March. No, I think it's in April because it's like a couple of days before my birthday. I found out, and then you could say I fell down the rabbit hole of patterns and everything on Ravelry. Yeah, okay, let me see. The first thing I really made that year is a big crochet blanket from plastic bags. So what I did is when you have your plastic bag, you cut it up, and then you have just like a big loop, and then you chain those loop. You like attach those loops by like going through it, pulling it through, and then another loop. So I made big balls of like plastic yarn or plarn they call it. And then I just crochet with it. I used a 20 millimeter needle, so like 2 centimeter needle. I made a big blanket and then put a border on it as well and made some straps for it. And my plan was to really to gift it to an organization for people who are fleeing their country because of war, like we see now in Ukraine. But at that moment, it was really for from people from Serbia. But it's still in our garage. I'm sorry about that. I tried to contact different people, but it didn't work out. And I also needed to use it. It was for a school project. So I am not religious, and at our school, in my high school, you could have like your different religion 2 hours a week class, or you could have a zedenleer, which is like just for people who don't believe in God or their religion is not teach at our school, and we just learn about the values of people and different things like that. Uh, so for one of those things, we needed to search for a project, and we chose to like use up plastic bags to make this and then to give to them. It's like an art project you got to make, but I wanted it to make an art project which also was usable later. So I will try to find some charity or something to donate it to, because it could be a handy layer to have with you when it's wet or cold outside, to put it on the floor before you like sleep on it or something, or your kids want to play on it. It's like a safe barrier to put through. And because it's of plastic, if it's get dirty or something, you could just like wash it off with some water. So that's one of the things I made that year. And then next up, I made my first shawl, and this is it. So this is a crochet triangle shawl, which is pretty big as well. It's just a little bit not wide enough because it's pretty heavy. And when I put it on, let me just do that. I need to, like, as you can see, I need to put it really tightly around my neck. So sometimes I'll just try to tie it under here. I'll try to show you. So I have just a little knot here to like not fall off, but it's one that's really nice as well, and that goes good with like my black and blue clothes I have. Let me come closer to you. So as you can see, you have 3 colors, a black, a red, and then like a merlot or a burgundy color, you could say, like an in between to give you this plaid filling. So how you make it is I think it's double crochets. Yes, double crochets, and then you carry the other yarns underneath it, and then it's also crocheted bottom up. So you start here, and then you just decrease all the way around. So that was a nice project to do because it was one of the first ones that was really big for me. And because you constantly decrease, it goes faster and faster as you go. Let me just take a pause here. Okay, and I'm back. I just needed to sneeze, and yeah, that wouldn't be wouldn't be appropriate to see. The other thing I made also with the same yarn are these mitts or mittens. They're also crochet, so let me try to put them on. Like, they are really fitted, as you can see. I really like them. The only thing, as you can see here, you can see some skin through me. So the holes are pretty big. So I mostly wear mittens while biking. So when I'm on my bike like this, and then the winds get into it. But I have some store-bought gloves that are really thin, and on days that it's really cold and windy, it's really nice to put on the thin gloves first, and then put on these crochet mitts, and then my hands are really warm and toasty. I also made a hat, but I forgot it at home somehow this weekend when I came to my cotton Kortrijk, and I don't have a picture, so I'm sorry. Maybe if I remember, I'll show you the next time. This was also one of the first times I really used some more expensive yarn. So as I've shown you before, this is my like yarn diary, and like the first project that in here was my knitted cardigan, and then the cardigan for my mother that I crocheted, and that's the same wool I used for my grow shawl. I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. And then that is when I started my yarn diary, so that's really handy. The black I used Katja Marino Aran. So it's 52% wool and 48% acrylic. For the burgundy I used the same one, so the burgundy color is 23 and the black color is 2. And then for the red I used Schachenmeier Merino extra fine 85. It's also Aran weight, so as you can see, let me try to come closer. So Schachenmeier, and this is 100% wool, but you can't really feel the difference because they're all really pretty soft. Yeah, and this is color 00231. So yeah, that's what I made then. And then I found Ravelry. I went on Pinterest and searched for stuff, and then I found a tutorial from Meg Made with Love on her blog to make some crochet bags and put a zipper in it. So what you do is you punch a hole with a pretty sharp needle in it, and then go through it with a very fine crochet hook, and then once that's done, you just crochet down. So this is my pencil case I'm still using. Oh, sorry, I just got another message about how much storage I have left, but enough to finish this podcast. I also made a bigger one and a black one, so I'll put in a picture here so you can see with some stuff in it how big it is. I'll use them for different things. I also made one in the same kind of variegated color like this. I'll also have them in my diary here, my yarn diary. So this is Mira from Zeeman. As you can see, this is the blue colorway, and then I made one in the burgundy and red. So as you can see, this was the variegated one for my fabric scissors. And then yeah, that's that. I'll just have a look here because I need something for later. Yes, let me put it there. Okay. After this, I made some crochet plants for my mom. I've searched. I've only found a couple of progress pictures, which aren't that nice. So I'll try to just put in a picture of from the pattern. It was from Woolplane.nl. So that's a a web store where you can buy yarn from the Netherlands, and I just got the free pattern from them, and I made her all three plants, but I don't know why I don't have a picture of them. I'll try, maybe I can see if I can send her a message if she could take a picture and send them to me, but I'll definitely try to put something here. Then um, one of the things that we have a lot of at home are pants that are ripped, like between your legs, because like when your thighs rub together, and there's nothing wrong with the rest of the pants, but you can't really wear them when there's like this big of a hole between your legs. So I searched and searched for something to do with it, and I found a way to like cut one leg of your pants in a continuous round to have like a long strip of fabric, and then I crocheted with it. So I made this purse. So you can see like these are three different, and then even the strap are like four different pairs of jeans I use for this. The only thing, as you can see, like you have this fabric threads. So sometimes it sheds, but because I have it now almost 4 years, I think it's done shedding. So you can see I have this big button, and then I have just a loop of some jeans with it, and I also have an magnetic clasp on it to keep it closed, because yeah, it's pretty stiff, and once it's upside down, it almost doesn't fall down. It's also lined, so what I did is I sewed a lining. I made a lining, and then I stitched it with hand to the inside of the purse, because like it sheds, and the holes, maybe I can show you on this one, like it's stretchy, because most of the jeans nowadays have some elastin in it to make it stretchy. So as you can see, there are some holes in it. Maybe if I put my finger through, you can see. So I didn't want anything small to fall through, and also if I put anything in it and it would still be shedding like all the threads, that would be not that handy. So that's the reason I lined it. We have this big pile of jeans as well. So then once I did that, I tried a couple of other things as well, but those came later, so I'll show them to you later on. This is pretty handy because like it's pretty sturdy, and I've used it to go to a festival already, because I wasn't that concerned with it becoming dirty, because it's already like uh, black and blue, you could say, and I could always like throw it in the wash, because it's just jeans to make it if it was really dirty. And it's pretty handy because it's pretty big to like put in a bottle of water and your oh my god, I can't find the word now, where you put your money in. Oh my god, it just escaped me. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's really handy. Then one of the next projects I am really proud about are these knee-high stockings. So this was the very first pair of socks I made. This was the first time using circular needles as well. So let me tell you about these ones. First of the yarn I use is Royal from Zeeman. It's like a worsted yarn in a yellow color. And that was because I have a dress with red roses on it. It has a gray and black background, and then you have red roses on it with a bit of yellow in it, and also a bit of green. So I was searching for like green, yellow, or like dark red tights to wear, but I'm pretty big. I have pretty tall legs as well, so it was hard for me to find like some tights that would fit with the dress and with me. And I was really like, I have just some generic black tights that I would like to just wear, and then have something like knee highs. But then they only had, at that moment, they only had it for kids. So I'll just make them myself. So that was the first time using circular needles. So I just bought some really cheap ones in Zeeman as well, with like, I think I have them still somewhere at home. Like the needle is bent and the cord was really stiff, so I tried to smoothen it with putting it into hot water and stuff like that. That really didn't work, but I'm still proud of it. So this is the Hermione's everyday sock pattern. So that was really the first thing I found on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. So I made, uh, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 rounds of rib, and then I went down. How I measured was I just casted on just a number of stitches, and then uh, put the circular needle up my calf to see if it would be big enough or not. And once I had like, because this is a 4 stitch repeat, I had something that was divisible by 4. I just went on it, and then after a couple of rounds, I'll try to find like from here on out, I decreased, so you can see, because definitely my ankle is not this big. And then was a problem for me, like, how will I decrease? How will I do this? Decrease in pattern? How does this work? Because of course, just doing something. I hadn't really watched a lot of podcasts, so I was not afraid of knitting socks. I was just, yeah, I'll try this and I'll see how it goes. So that is one of the reasons I really want to show you my journey. Like, this is not perfect, but I still wear them. This is 100% acrylic wool, but most of the time I just wear them over like some light leggings or tights, and then this gives the color I want that pull the yellow out of my dress. So then I went to my grandma and was like, okay, try to help me figure out. And then we just decreased every so many rounds till and then tried it on again and all of that. It was a lot of trying on. I don't think I ripped back a lot, only in the beginning to make sure it was big enough. And then even it like slouched and they fell down. So what I did is I got some elastic thread. Let me try to show you, and just knitted it in, sewn it in, so it has some elasticity to keep up my on the top of my calf. And then I got to the heel flap, and that was one of the reasons after doing these that I know I like toe up, because once you've done the heel flap, maybe you're not a sock knitter, so your heel flap is this part. Let me try to show you. Yeah, they're pretty dirty as well, because they're not sock yarn. They're not really made for wearing on socks, and I wear them in boots as well, but I have no problem with them. They are still holding up. So this is your heel flap. So this is something you just knit flat, and once you're there, you have to pick up stitches at this side and at the other side. And then I couldn't pick up enough stitches, and on the other sock I had another count of stitches to pick up and all of that, but it still worked out. But that was the moment I know maybe I'll need to try, if I want to knit socks again, to knit them toe up, to not have to pick up these stitches, because I found that really fiddly. Now I've heard there is like, you could use a garter. I think you could use like a garter's tap or something, like maybe 2 or 3 stitches that are in garter, that makes it easier to pick up. I don't know, maybe if you would like to knit sock, that's something to look into. And then I just knitted it and tried it on again, and knitted it and tried it on again till it fit my foot. And I decreased, I think you could call this, I don't know, a rounded toe or something. I didn't kitchener it because I didn't know what kitchening was at that moment. I just, the last couple of stitches, you can see there's this little hole here. I just pulled my yarn through and then pulled it so it's closed, and then weaved in my ends. So yeah, I have these two, and these are one of my proudest makes, because I didn't know anything about socks. At that moment, I adapted the pattern. I used the wrong yarn first time, circular needles and well, but I still have them, and they will get worn when I wear my dress. So yeah, that's that. Um, then yeah, in the beginning it was really a lot of crochet as well. So here we go, another crochet bag. So this is my Malia bag. I use this color changing yarn from I don't know, I don't remember the name of the store, but it's something like the same one. It's probably just 100% acrylic, like that. It has handles on it, so I just used I think it's also on 100% acrylic yarn in black. And then, as you can see, the handles are pretty stiff. There's some like a tube in here, So my mom is an at-home nurse, and one of the things she had like tubes over for something, and I was like, oh, I could use it. So I cut them at the place I wanted it, and then crocheted like this tube around them. I don't even remember how I did. Then I knotted it at the end, but sometimes it stretches, so I already like try to glue things together as well. And then the grommets, some of them are really strongly in their place, and others try to escape, so some of them are glued already. I'll also line this bag in this amazing purple with green polka dot fabric. As I told you, I'm not religious, uh, so normally when you're like 6 and what is it, 12, you have like, I don't know how it's called in English, but you go to church and like get your cross and all of that. I am not Christian at all, so I'm sorry if I offended anybody with saying with using the wrong terms. But we also have that for the people who are non-religious, to just like have a party, and also like we usually have some kind of acts to do, like to show you we're growing up, going to a next stage of our lives. And that's something big, and you can like you get your own dresses and stuff like that. And then I got my aunt is a really good seamstress, and she sewed me this really nice dress. Let me just put in a picture here. I'll go find one. It's just in this fabric. It's like a body with a low back, and some straps to like at my neck, who are knotted at my neck, and then I have a really wide skirt. I really love that dress. I still have it. I definitely don't fit in it anymore, but it was something to keep safe. And this was some of the scrap fabric I had left, so I made a lining of it to make sure like to not stretch out this bag. And most of the time now I use it just to put in a project or something, or like things that are not that heavy, because I'm still afraid that these ones will come loose. But we have like glue to the rescue, you could say. Okay, let me see. Oh, I have three more things to talk about, so this will be a long one. But then we're like at the next stage of. Then we're like we could finish 2018. I'm 16 years old, and I'm really into knitting. So the next thing I made is an alien for my sister. So I'll put in the picture. It was just an amigurumi crochet set from the Veritas here in Belgium, which we went and there was a sale, and she was oh, I like that, would you be able to make that for me? And I was like, yeah, why not? Just give it to me, and it's at home with her, so I'll put in a picture. Then I made a bag elvendertig, so I'm a bag lady. As you can see, I've made different bags as well, and I call that one like it's 3011 if you would translate it to Belgium, excuse me, to English. And it's something we say in our dialect. Like elvendertig means like the number, so many you have already. Do you really need that one? And I was like, yeah, I just need another one. So I used Mira from Zeeman again, that I used for like the blue one and the red one I showed you, and it was just this gray, as you can see. So the bag is pretty big, it's gray, and then at the top of it I just used the leftovers from my blue and red, so I'll put in a picture as well. And it's just like a huge tote bag, like I think I'm not exaggerating when I say this big, and I think I like it as well. I'm not completely sure about that. It's at home because it was too big to take with me, but it's really handy to like put some stuff in it if you like it. And it's a soft bag, so I've used it sometimes already. Just put in a sweater or two, and then use it as a pillow as well if we go somewhere. That's pretty handy. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about my journey is my Across My Heart sweater. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. It was a crochet sweater. I'll put in a picture of the pattern. It's still available for free on the blog of Meg Made with Love. And it's like it's a V-neck, and then you have a couple of grommets, and then you have an I-cord that goes through it. It's pretty cool because it goes down and has a split hem, and I made the back longer than the front to give it like this cool look, to maybe wear it with leggings and stuff. But the you make it as a big rectangle, and at one side you just like use a chain, and at the other side you just like bind off, you could say. And the problem was, at my one side was really loose and the other side with the chain was really stiff. And then you could just see like the sweater was not in proportion when I was wearing it. And yeah, I didn't really, I liked it, but then I also used some acrylic yarn from Zeeman again, Royal, in like this dark gray. And the problem with it was I don't know why other ones I've used like for my knee-high socks, it's the same yarn and it's not itchy, but that yarn for some reason was itchy, and then I didn't really like the pattern or how it fitted on me. So I pulled it out. I don't even know where the wool went. Yeah, I just, the only thing I'm sad about is that I didn't take a picture of it, but for the rest of it, I'm okay with it because it was something I wouldn't wear, and I don't know what happened. Hopefully, I used the wool for something good. I can't remember anymore. So this is the end of my crocheting and knitting journey. If you watch this far, thank you. I know this will be a long one, but I also like watching long podcasts. I will talk a bit about more about my life now, the last 2 weeks. If you're not interested in it, that's totally fine. Thank you for watching. If you would like to see my next episode, definitely click the red subscribe button. If you would like to tell me something, just leave me a comment, and I hope to see you next time. For the ones that are still watching and interested about my life as well. This is the third week of my second semester. It is really busy at the moment. We have a lot of classes and then we have a big project as well, but I really like it. The classes are interesting. They're all different from things I've had before, or they go some go deeper in on the topics we've had before, and I'm still really happy I am doing this bachelor. Then I had two Zoom knit nights last week. On Tuesday, we had it with Hannah. Hannah is the host of the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. I'm one of her patrons, and once a month we have a Zoom knit night. Uh, Sometimes it's easy for me to join. Like now, it was 6 p.m. for me and like 12 at noon for them. Sometimes it's 7:30 p.m. for them, and then means that it's 1:30 a.m. for me the next day. And if I can make it because I don't have class the next day and I can sleep in, I will try. But it's always nice for me if it's just in the evening for me, then I can join without needing to be tired the next day. But it's also always nice to just talk with those people. They're all my friends. Then we also had the knit night with Rebecca of the excuse me again, Crea Bea Knitting podcast, with Caroline of Caroline's Knits and Anastasia of Free Your Sheep. Those are three podcasters that started last year a podcast via Zoom, a Zoom knit night, and you just, when they publish a picture or a story on Instagram, you can just comment on it, and then you get the information for the knit night. And I think I stayed to almost 2:30, so from like 8:30 for me. So yeah, almost 6 hours, and it was really nice. We had a lot of nice talks. I hope some of you are from there watching me, and I made a lot of new friends. So yeah, and I think that's almost all of it. I told you when I was showing my Lana Grossa wool for some vanilla socks that I am going on a trip this weekend. Just we will be at the sea, so that will be nice with just some people from our faculty who are also by science engineering students in their bachelors. So most of us are first or second years, and we'll just have some fun and try to be also mindful of what is happening in the world as well. So I hope everybody stay safe, be happy, and that's all for me, I think. Bye!